Hello everyone. Today we're going to be discussing how to open a jewelry puzzle box from TB Archer Woodcrafts. Now, today we're going to be starting off with this piece, which is the American Bald Eagle with the Liberty placed along the bottom. Now, to begin, we're going to be looking at several parts of this puzzle box. Now, the important thing to do is to first locate your top locking key, because this top piece is actually loose. And the key, which can be located on any box regardless of when it was produced, by finding the vertical strip. And the key always locks down and integrates with the design, in this case being the eagle's tail feathers. Now the key itself is locked in by a button, the key button. Not all boxes have a key button, but every box has a key. Some boxes have a loose key, which would mean that if you turn the box upside down, the key would fall off. But in this case, and in most recent boxes, they have a button which locks the key safely in place, so regardless of how it is transported, it will never lose the key, and the box should remain intact. Now, the key button can be easily identified by simply locating this easily detected oval shape, which always has a different coloration, sometimes wood type, and always has a different grain compared to the surrounding wood. So you see the grain is moving in an arc down to the right, but the key simply, get up close here, simply has a lighter color and some speckles. Now, every key button is pushed in a swiveling motion. Now, if you push from the left here, nothing happens. Now, don't be discouraged. This simply means that the key swivels out from this side. To open the key button so that you can access the key, simply push on the other side. Now, you'll see here that it comes out in an arc. And what you want to do is move it to its limit, help it on this side, so it will no longer move out from here. You cannot remove this piece. I would not suggest trying, because then you would risk damage. Now, all this means that once you've pushed it, is that now you can remove the aforementioned key. Simply sliding it out gently like so. Try not to force it, so that any attached pieces do not become separated where the pieces attach. And this groove here is simply where the key button locks it in place. Set that aside. Now, to access the box itself, we need to move this top piece, which you can see is sliding. However, you may see that if you try to slide it one way, it might get stuck. Oh no, what do I do? Well, the only problem is that it's been sculpted in a way that it widens on this side. Now, any box could widen a certain orientation, horizontal or vertical, but that does not matter. If it simply applies too much resistance to where you are pushing or pulling, don't force it, because nobody wants to risk damage. What you're going to want to do is simply slide back the other way, gently. Make sure not to drop it, because it's kind of heavy. Now, once you've removed the piece, you can admire it. How its polished finish lets it slide easily, and you can see the groove here. It is not even. You can see the end, how it does not line up perfectly with the front, which is why it prevents it from sliding, in this case, left. But put this aside, and now you have the box itself. So with this box, you can easily tell that there is no trick here. All you have to do is simply lift this whole lid piece. It is not locked, and it is also evenly polished. Simply move that aside. So now you should have three pieces aside. You should have the key, you should have the lid itself underneath, and you should have the decorative top portion with, in this case, an eagle. But once you set those aside, now you could admire the interior of the box, which is a nice red velvet. Now, these little pouches are simply desiccants. They are designed to absorb oxygen and therefore prevent the inside from humidifying and possibly becoming damaged over time with long storage. However, that's not an issue. Once you have received yours, your box, simply throw away these desiccants. The velvet inside is like a soft cushioning material and is also physically attractive. This means you can put any jewelry you desire inside here. It doesn't have to be jewelry, it can be anything. But because of the velvet finish, any jewelry, particularly metal, will not become scratched up. Now because of this, it's very optimal for storing small items. These portions are raised to support the weight of the lid. Now that's very straightforward. In my case, I will be putting the desiccants back. But to continue by closing the box, what you're going to want to do is find your lid piece. Make sure you line it up the correct way. Not like this, it won't fit like this. Very simple geometry. Push it back into place. It should rest evenly unless you've packed too much. If you have too many items in here and the lid becomes raised, please consider replacing them so that it becomes flat, because the box will not close unless everything is smooth on top. Now once you've done this, it might be useful to perform this 3/4 angle, where we will now take the top and put it on the side that you pulled it out from, in this case the right. And you're going to want to slide it smoothly over the polished finish until it lines up with the other side. Rotate back to where the key was. Now, we're going to take the key, make sure you have it oriented the right way, very easy, from this T shape. Simply lock it by placing it in, sliding it all the way down the groove, and then find this key button, which you pulled out earlier, and push it back in, and now the key is locked. It will not move. And because the key is locked, the entire top will not move. It will jostle a little bit, but don't be afraid, it won't be coming loose unless you force it, which is never advised. So now you're back to your old Liberty puzzle box in this case. Keep in mind that any puzzle box has varying designs, shapes, and sizes, and not all puzzle boxes will have its own button. Some will have a free floating key. But I hope you found this video helpful. Have a nice day, and thanks for watching.